What's going on, guys? United Gaming back with another MLB The Show 21 video. And in today's video, we are going to be predicting the June monthly awards, which is coming out on Wednesday the 7th. It is currently Monday the 5th, so 2 more days until this comes out. So I'm going to tell you guys what I based this off of and how I scaled my predictions. What I'm also going to say is that for Team Affinity Season 3, it has been revealed that it's going to be all-star cards. And I'm pretty sure that means it's going to be all-star cards from this year. So I kind of took that into consideration, and some of the cards that are all-stars for June Player of the Month, I'm just going to state their names at the end of it. I'm obviously not going to exclude them, but I'm obviously going to have to, they're obviously going to have to be worth mentioning, considering they might get 2 cards within like a week of each other, and like 2 really good cards at that. So next thing we're going to talk about is kind of the structure that the previous Players of the Month has been around. We had 5 or 6 hitters. I think it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, 6 and not including the Lightning. I don't know what they would do if a pitcher was a Lightning, because we haven't had that problem yet. And 3 pitchers with 2 starting pitchers and then 1 middle relief pitcher. Either when both relievers for both months have been kind of like in the middle. I think they've both been at 40 points actually. Yep, they've both been at 40 points. They both kind of been in the middle of the pro game, and I'm expecting kind of the same thing here. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into the first card. And my first prediction for this lower overall card, the first one in the program, is going to be Adam Duvall. He had a very underrated month. It wasn't a great month. I invested in like 230 of them, and he didn't go gold, which kind of sucks. I don't know why I'm highlighting Allison Meadows. Anyway, point being, Duvall had a good month. He had 10 home runs, 27 RBIs, and batted .301. Very, very solid. He just tore the cover off the ball. He's very streaky, I found. So, very streaky moments that he had. I still think that he's kind of similar to this Austin Meadows, where he had a decent month and obviously deserves some sort of recognition from it. And I do expect him to get this sort of low overall card. Because, like, if you look at the stat line for this Austin Meadows, 258, 8 home runs, 28 RBIs, isn't that great besides the RBIs? And if we go to April, I mean, obviously we got Cedric Mullins, who did have a good month. Had a lot of hits, but, I mean, obviously wasn't the best card in the world. Anyway, I think Adam Duvall is going to be in that first card. And then in, like, this 20-point spot, I'm going to go with Bryan Reynolds, another really underrated month that he had. 7 home runs, 19 RBIs, 3 stolen bases, and a .333 average. That's basically Bryan Reynolds, and I think it would be a super good card, because he would be a great switch hitter, and he would be a free switch hitter, so I recommend finishing getting Jason Dominguez in the Switch It Up event, or else you're going to have to deal with this 90-91 Bryan Reynolds a bunch of times, and he's probably going to be tearing the cover off the ball. He's a pretty sweet swing, and if he does have some power numbers, I expect him to be really glitchy and underrated. I kind of think this card could be a bit of a BR goon. Not going to lie, I feel like he could be pretty glitchy. Next, we're going to go with our starting pitcher. Even though in May there's no starting pitcher in this slot, we're going to go with the starting pitcher here, and I think that's going to be Herman Marquez. He had a obviously great month and took a no-hitter into the 9th inning one time, so it kind of sucks that he didn't get it. He had 4 wins, 36 strikeouts, and a 2.70 ERA. I do think that he deserves a Player of the Month card. I think it'll be around the 92 to 93 range. Maybe not that high, but probably around 92 we could see Herman Marquez card. Now, the only problem I see with this is that he's the only Rocky that is a all-star, and as we know, Team Affinity Season 3 is going to be based off all-stars, so he's basically guaranteed a card for that, and I'm not sure they're going to give him 2 cards within a week of each other. But I don't know, they could still do that, but I do think he's very deserving of a Player of the Month card, even if he doesn't get it because of the All-Star reasons. Next guy, I'm still going to follow the trend, and I'm going to say my reliever, and I think there's 2 different options we could have for this. And that's the only 2 that I really took into consideration. That's Brad Hand and Ryan Presley. I don't know which one it's going to be, but I'm predicting it's going to be one of those 2. Both of them had very, very good months. Presley, 11 innings, 2 wins, 6 saves, 20 strikeouts, and no earned runs throughout the month. That is insane. And then, of course, Brad Hand would be a super good lefty reliever. He had 2 wins, 8 saves, 15 strikeouts, and a 1.17 ERA. I feel like Presley does have a slightly higher chance, but he is also an all-star, so that is also something to take into consideration, that he might get an all-star card, even though there's a bunch of other Astros. So that's a lower chance that he'll get one, and he'll just get a Player of the Month card. Brad Hand is not an all-star, so it doesn't affect him at all. One of those two is going to be the player of the month, and considering these last 2 months were both righties, maybe we see a lefty reliever in there. Considering there's a very low amount of free lefty relievers, it would be great to see great to see in the game in general. The next guy is going to be hitter, and is going to be Jonathan Schoop. Once again, another severely underrated month. I think he is an all-star snub. He had 7 home runs, 23 RBIs, 1 stolen base, and a .324 batting average. Gregory Soto is the actual Tigers all-star, and I think Jonathan Schoop was a bit snubbed, but that's just my opinion. I think he should have made it as a reserve. But anyway, Jonathan Schoop is always super glitchy in this game. I love his cards. He had an Orioles Player of the Month, and that card was insane. He is super glitchy. He has one of the sweetest swings in all the game. And if we got a Player of the Month, like a Diamond Player of the Month, with like a 93 overall, that could be a severely good and underrated card. If we could get that, that would be awesome to see, because he would tear the cover off the ball. I might even consider starting him, putting him at second base for a few games and trying him out, even though I got Jackie and Big Poppy at first. I want a Jonathan Schoop card because he is insane. Obviously, I just said he was not an all-star, so there's no consideration for that series. So perfect time to give him another Player of the Month card, and he would be one of the best VR cards and event cards in the game. He would be really, really good for you budget players that are out there. Next guy, once again, is going to be a hitter. I'm going with Cedric Mullins. He had an insane month, 9 home runs, 18 RBIs, 6 steals, and batted .360. He tore the cover off the baseball. He was just insane. I got nothing else to say. He just flat out raked. And I don't know. He just raked. He would be an insane card, even though he already has a Player of the Month. Even though he already has a Player of the Month, I think he still has a super solid chance of getting a June Player of the Month. Now, the only thing I'm really thinking with this again is he's the only Orioles All-Star, and as we know, All-Star Series is going to be the theme around the Team Affinity Season 3, which is coming out next Monday. It's coming out in a week. So, that's the only thing to take into consideration with this card, is that we might not get it, but if we don't get it for Player of the Month, we are for sure getting it for the All-Star Series Team Affinity Season 3, and that card I can think would be even better. I think Cedric Mullins could be interchangeable with the guy I chose for the Lightning card. He could be very good, and I don't know. I feel like Cedric Mullins would be glitchy, even though I hated his 84's moment last time, and I didn't really like his swing. Maybe he'll be better this time, because I didn't think the 84 Player of the Month he got last time was really that good. But he's had a great season. He deserves some sort of high diamond card, and he's either going to get it in the form of Player of the Month, or he's going to get it in the form of Team Affinity Season 3. So we have 3 more slots to fill, and 1 more starting pitcher, so we're going to go over, not the starting pitcher now, we are going to go over the last position player before the Lightning, and that is going to be Gary Sanchez. I'm a Yankees fan, you guys should know that, and I'm super happy Gary Sanchez did have a great month, and he had 8 home runs, 19 RBIs, 282. Maybe I'm putting him a little far up here because I'm a little biased to give him like a 95 or something. Maybe I'm biased, but I don't care that much. I like Gary Sanchez. If he got a second diamond in the game and even like a higher diamond like this, he would be insane. I think he deserves some form of Player of the Month card. I wouldn't mind if he was switched with Schoop and like he was like a 93 or something, and Schoop was a 95. I wouldn't mind that. But Gary Sanchez is always glitchy. He does have that old All-Star card. I don't know what year that's from. I think it's 2017 All-Star card. But perfect time to give him a Player of the Month card. He's not an All-Star, so there's no thinking about that at all. And yeah, I mean, what else do I gotta say? Just Gary Sanchez. Please give me Gary Sanchez. Thank you. Anyway, starting pitcher card, I'm going to go with Walker Buehler. Buehler has been insane this month. He's had a great month. I'm going to take a look at his stats. He had 4 wins, 31 strikeouts, and a 1.36, my bad, ERA. He is just insane. He is super good. He probably deserves the Player of the Month card. I feel like he could be actually very similar to the Zach Wheeler card. It could be basically the same, actually. and would probably be more of a 95 or 96 overall. But Walker Buehler, always pretty good, and I feel like he always has like this really good summer. I don't feel like he ever starts hot, but he always gets good over the summer. But that's just kind of what my thought process with Walker Buehler. I got nothing else to say. He deserves it for sure. He would be a good starting pitcher, and I think he could be even a little bit glitchy and work in ranked seasons like this Zach Wheeler kind of works in ranked seasons. Now, before we talk about my pick for the Lightning card, there's one guy I have to talk about, and I can't go through this entire video and ignore him. Shohei Ohtani. He had one of the best months of all time, and I still don't think he's going to be the Player of the Month Lightning card. He had 16 home runs, 27 RBIs, and a .329 just as a batter. Like, that is insane. That is insanity. He pitched, too, and pitched pretty well, too, except against the Yankees. But there's two things to take into account. He has an old Player of the Month card, and he's an All-Star. So I think he could get an All-Star card, and he already has an 89 Player of the Month. Cedric Mullins has an 84 Player of the Month. Shohei Ohtani, like, has a good Player of the Month card, and it was just a batter card. My thought is, would they give Shohei a Lightning starting pitcher card where he can also hit? Or would they just save that card for the All-Star series? Or would they just save that card till the end of the year when he wins MVP? I don't know what they're going to do with Shohei Ohtani. I'm honestly kind of confused. I hope we get a good Shohei Ohtani because it would be insane. He is so hard to hit. Like, his diamond card is so hard to hit. Like, his 85, his live series is so difficult to hit. And, like, I don't know, dude. Like, Shohei Ohtani, he's insane. But, like, what are they going to do with him? It's kind of weird. It's kind of hard to figure out because his only flashback so far has been a hitter card. And it does have pitches, but you can't very well pitch it, I don't think. I'm not entirely sure, but anyway, my pick for the Lightning card is Kyle Schwarber. He probably had the best month besides Shohei Ohtani. It sucks because he's on the injured list and he's not going to be at the All-Star game, but he had 16 home runs, 28 RBIs with a .290 average, and in like the last 2 weeks alone, he had 7 home runs. Half of those home runs came in the last 2 weeks of the month. He was just tearing the cover out of the ball. Seemed like he was hitting a home run every single game, and I think he deserves a Lightning card. If Shohei Ohtani doesn't get it, I think he deserves it the most. It's either between Shohei Ohtani, who I don't know what they're going to do with, Kyle Schwarber, who I would pick the most of, or Cedric Mullins. No one other than those three guys is going to get it, and my pick is obviously going to be Kyle Schwarber. I feel like he would be insane with a catcher secondary. He would be my new catcher. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what his lefty stats look like, but he would just destroy the ball against righties, and he would flat out be my new catcher, despite how terrible the defense would be. I won't care. He's going to be my new catcher because he would just be one of the best hitters in all the games. So let me know what you think of my predictions down in the comment section down below, and if you did enjoy and did agree with them, please also let me know. Anyway, thanks a ton for watching. If you are new here and not already subscribed, make sure to do that. We're on the road to 500. Anyway, I'm Gaming. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Thanks for watching.